Hello everyone, welcome once again to Learn Mathematics. This is Rekha Chabra, your maths teacher. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel and keep learning mathematics through my YouTube videos. So we were doing chapter number 7 integrals, in which we have learned and discussed different methods of indefinite integrals. And now we are going to discuss definite integral. What is definite integral, how we find it, and then we'll discuss few questions of 7.9. So basically, what is a definite integral? Students, it is useful for finding the area under the curve, right? And it gives us a particular number as answer. So let fx be the antiderivative of small fx. Then for any two values of the independent variable x, say a and b, the difference f of b minus f of a is called the definite integral. This is the theoretical method to find out definite integral of fx. This way, let's understand with the help of questions. So before that, fundamental theorem of integral calculus. So if we have any function given like this, fx and a to b, this is called as lower limit and this is called as upper limit. So first of all, we'll find its integral, or we can say antiderivative, right? And then we'll replace x with b first of all, minus, then we'll replace x with a. And their difference will give us the definite integral of that particular function. Now let's discuss few questions of exercise 7.9 for better understanding. Question number 1, here it is given minus 1 to 1 and the function is x plus 1. So first of all, let's integrate the given function. What is the integral of x? That is x square by 2, and integral of 1 is x. So this is fx, antiderivative of the given function. Now second fundamental theorem of calculus that we just did, definite integral will be equal to f of 1 minus f of minus 1, because the upper limit is this and lower limit is this. We have to subtract lower limit from upper limit. So f of 1 minus f of minus 1. First of all, replace x with 1 and then minus, replace x with minus 1. So it is 1 square means 1 by 2 plus 1 minus minus 1 square is again 1 by 2 minus 1. Open it and solve it. 2 is the answer. Question number 3. Here again, first of all, let's split all the terms. Let's separate all the terms and find the integral of all the terms. So 4 constant, x cube is x power 4 upon 4, minus 5 is the constant, x cube upon 3, plus 6 is the constant, x square upon 2, and 9 is the constant, and the integral of 1 is x. So now what is the upper limit? 2, f of 2 minus f of 1. First of all, replace all the x with 2 and then minus all the x with 1. So it is 2 power 4 minus 5 into 2 cube upon 3 plus 3, 2 square plus 9 into 2. Solve it. After that, minus, and all the x will replace with 1, and then after that, simple calculation, algebra, and get the answer. Sine 2x and the limits are 0 to pi by 4. B is pi by 4, A is 0. First of all, let's integrate sine 2x. What is the integral of sine? That is minus cos, and 2x, what is the derivative? 2, it will come in the denominator. So this is antiderivative. Now we have to find f of pi by 4 minus f of 0. So first of all, replace x with pi by 4. Minus 1 by 2 is the constant we have taken outside. So cos pi by 2 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. So the final answer is 1 by 2. Now e power x, what is the antiderivative? E power x only. So f of 5 minus f of 4. E power 4 is common outside and e minus 1 inside the bracket. Very simple question. Now dx upon under root 1 minus x square. This is antiderivative of sine inverse x, and now we will apply these limits, f of 1 minus f of 0, sine inverse 1 minus sine inverse 0. So 1 is, we have learned in inverse trigonometric function principal value branches, if you remember. 1 is pi by 2, because sine inverse sine, what is the, when we have 1 for sine function, when we get this value 1 for sine function, we get at pi by 2. So sine inverse sine is cancelled and the answer will be pi by 2, minus sine inverse when we have value of sine function as 0. So definitely at sine 0. So sine inverse and sine cancel and the answer is 0. So the final answer is pi by 2. Now dx upon x square minus 1. So x square minus 1, here what can we do students? This is the format of x square minus a square. If you remember the property, it is 1 by 2 log x minus a upon x plus a. This is antiderivative. By second fundamental theorem of calculus, antiderivative we have calculated. Now f of 3 minus f of 2. Replace all x with 3 and then we will replace all x with 2. So 3 minus 1, 1 by 2 overall common outside. Log of 3 minus 1 upon 3 plus 1, 2 by 4 which is 1 by 2, minus log of, now we have to replace with 2, 2 minus 1, 1 by 3. Now log m minus log n, which is log m by n, 1 by 2 upon 1 by 3, which is 3 by 2. Question number 14, here linear is given in the numerator and quadratic is given in the denominator. First of all, here we have to try to convert this denominator into some property or the special type of functions that we know. So 5 outside, right? What are we doing? Either you can take 5 outside or you can multiply and divide with 5, right? So we have divided and multiplied with 5. So it will be 10x plus 15 and it will be 5x square plus 1. Now we are splitting it. Why we did this, students? Because here if you take the derivative 5x square, it is 10x. So now we have derivative of this thing is here in the numerator here. So now we are splitting it. So this first term will be solved by substitution when we'll assume 5x square plus 1 as t. So its derivative 10x dx is there in the numerator. So it will be, integral will be log of 5x square minus 1. First time is solved. Now 3 upon 5 is constant, and here we have the format of x square plus a square, 1 by root 5 square. So we'll apply 1 upon a tan inverse x by a. So this is antiderivative. Now we will calculate, we'll apply the limits f of 1 minus f of 0. First of all, replace x with 1 everywhere. So it will be 1 by 5 log 5 plus 1, which is log 6, plus 3 root 5 tan inverse root 5 as it is, minus will replace x with 0. So it will be 1 by 5 log 1. Students, value of log 1 is 0, right? And tan inverse 0. Tan inverse 0, when do we have value of tan as 0? Definitely at tan 0. So tan inverse and tan cancel, 0 into something, this is anyways 0. So this complete term will become 0 and this is the final answer. Here, first of all students, the given function is, look at the degrees, the given function is not a proper fraction. It is an improper fraction. So what will we do? We will convert it into a proper fraction by dividing. So what are we getting? We are getting 5 minus 20x plus 15 upon this denominator. Split it. You know the method very well. 5. What is the integral? 5x. Apply the limit. Instead of x, first of all apply 2, then 1. So it will be 10 minus 5, which is 5 only. Right? And minus, let it be I1. Right? Now we'll talk about I1. What we do here in the numerator, we have linear and in the denominator we have quadratic. So we assume this px plus q as a into derivative of this quadratic plus any other constant b. Now take the derivative. What is the derivative? 4x plus 4, right? 4x plus 4. And now open the bracket, compare the coefficients and get the values of a and b, right? Now this term, let's assume it as t. So 2x plus 4 dx will be equal to dt. Apply it here. Now this is the identity of x square minus a square. Special type of function, 1 by 2 log x minus a, right? and x plus a. Now put the value of t, that was x square plus 4x plus 3, and we'll apply the limits. And here 25 half log x plus 1 upon x plus 3. Now apply these limits, find out, and here a little bit algebra that we have to apply for solving it, students. 15 we can write down as 5 into 3, 8 we can write down as 4 into 2, right? And here we are applying the formula of log m by n, which is log m minus log n, right? And we'll split all these terms, right? Here log mn, log m plus log n. Then we'll combine the terms of log 5 from here, then log 4, then log 3, and then log 2. After solving, we are getting this thing 45 by 2 log 5, right? And from these two terms now, we are taking 45 by log 2, 45 by 2 common, and what will be left inside? 45 by 2 we are taking outside common. So it will be log 5 minus log 4. And here can we apply log m minus log n? Yes, we can do that. So it will be log 5 by 4. That's what we did here. Then in the second term, from here we are taking minus 5 by 2 outside. When we'll take minus 5 by 2 outside, we will left with log 3 minus log 2, which will be equal to log of 3 by 2. That's what we have written here. Now substituting these values, I is equal to 5. The first term integral was 5 minus this thing, and after that 5 by 2 overall common. So it is 9 log 5 by 4 minus log 3 by 2. 20th question here. First term x e power x we can apply by parts, and here in the second term we can simply find the integral. So x e power x, everybody knows how to apply by parts, and here sine, what is the integral? Minus cos, and the derivative of pi x by 4 is pi by 4, which will come in the denominator. Now f1 minus f0, replace all x with 1, then all x with 0. So e power 1 minus e power 1, these two terms will be cancelled. 4 by pi, cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, they will be cancelled, and it will be 2 root 2, plus this term is 0, e power 0 is minus 1, and outside also we have 1 minus, so it will be plus 1, and plus 4 by pi, because cos 0 is 1. Solve it and get the answer. I hope you must have understood how to find definite integral. Now this is my request. Please try remaining question of the same exercise yourself and post your comments in the comment box. Thank you very much.